MC Barber.
Hey everyone, this is MC. I have another video here for you. We're gonna do a kid's haircut, a trendy kid's haircut. We're gonna do a fade in the side, and then we're gonna do like a pushback slash pompadour. As usually, first thing I like to do is section the hair off. It makes it easier for me to work. And then I'll comb the hair in a direction it grows. It's just easier for my first step for the clippers to cut. My first step, as usually, is to create a foundation for my hairstyle and to create a foundation for my fade. I use for any haircut that is 1.5 or less, I start with 1.5. So I remove the bulk, and then I can, if I want to go shorter than 1.5, I can start my fade with whatever it is, whether it's 0 or it's half or 1 or whatever it may be. But I found out that this is the so the reason I like 1.5, even if I'm going shorter than that, uh, once you start getting towards the top of the head, in this case it really doesn't make huge difference. But when you go to very long top, where you are connecting the top with the sides, it's just the way I think the number one blade is designed. And also it leaves the hair slightly longer, so that shadow that is left behind is not as deep as you would say with one. I mean, I tried both over and over, and I just find that the haircut just, the transition just comes way better when I use 1.5 than when I use one. There are cases where you can actually use one, but it's actually there are rare cases. Depends on the texture of the hair, the style of the haircut that you are doing, and so on. But definitely, I think the safest way is to go with 1.5. And once you experience this, you try it a few times, you will see what I'm talking about. So this fade, we're gonna start from 0. My Andis edges here are 0 gaps. Since I'm gonna kind of leave the hairline slightly darker, depends where you're from. Some places they call this south of France when you're leaving the hairline slightly darker. Other place call it a shadow. But in general, I'm leaving the hairline slightly darker. So I like to do the shape up before I do fading, so I can see where I am leaving the hair longer and how to approach the fade there, like in this situation right there. We actually uploaded this haircut at the beginning of the week, but we had to take it down. For some reason, we forgot to do the voiceover and to leave comments on it, to comment the haircut or explain the haircut. So we apologize about that. So in this case, this is going to be pretty high fade. I'm kind of right now fading from bottom up. As I said before, there are different ways of fading. You can fade from top down. That is actually the safest way to fade if you are not sure where you want your fade to stop, and if you are not confident that you can control your fade when you fade from bottom up. So you can fade from top down, bottom, from top down, from bottom up, and also you can mix. You can start from the top, then go back to from bottom, and kind of just play with it. Uh, I believe all of them are fine. However, I think the most precise is, I mean, when it comes to where you want to keep your fade, whether you want it high, medium, or low, I think the best or the easiest way is to do the top down. But again, depends on the person and his personal preference. I'm not one of those people that believes uh, my way is the only way. I think my experience as a barber and in general, uh, I think whatever works for you the best, as long as it gives you good results, that's the right way to do it. We're all different, so if it works for you and it gives you what you are looking for, the top result, then really that's the right way for you to do it. I the system I developed that I call MC Barber system. Uh, I believe it's a good system because it works for me, and the people I train, they catch on it very fast. So it works for a lot of people. So that's why I believe it's good. Now just clean the shape up. Usually on kids in general, I don't like using razor very much unless you are really confident and you know the kid will not move. But kids tend to move, so you got to be kind of careful when you do this with kids with a straight edge. As every haircut, scissors are almost must. You have to use your scissors to connect or in general to like refine your cut. Scissor over comb is the most common scissor technique that we use in the barber shops and in the salons, but is by far one of the most difficult scissors to master. Top, I'm going to start cutting from the crown. Usually I like cutting from the crown because it gives me more control over what I'm doing. If I want to, for example, leave the hair longer towards the front, I can start over directing at some point. Whether I can start over directing from this point right here and leave the front very long, or I can start over directing from halfway or whatever it may be, depends on the style that you want to create. But if you are cutting from the front, it's a lot more difficult to leave the front longer than the back. And also your sections are a lot more cleaner and a lot more precise when you start from the crown. I am using a point cutting technique or notching, depends how you call it. Uh, this technique here gives me texture. I like to call it notching. But sometimes we see the arguments over the words that we use, whether we call it point cutting, notching, or whether you call scissors or shears. Uh, I think what's important is the results and what you can do with the shears or scissors. If you call them scissors, I think that's quite fine. If you call them shears, that's also fine. I'm going to use a straight edge razor here to create some texture inside of his hair. Um, it will give him some movement and also give him stability in the hairstyle. It will kind of give him support when he styles. If the hair is all the same length, it will just fall flat a lot of times. So if you create some texture inside of the hair, it will kind of give support for the style, you know, as a short hair kind of over directs the long hair and also supports it. Any good hairstyle has to have a good finish. You have to blow dry and style, which is really important to make that hairstyle look the way it needs to look. You can do an excellent haircut, but if it doesn't have a good finish, it's really not, I mean, the client will not see the quality of the work you do. So in my barbershop we do workshops. Workshops are usually held on Sundays. I get calls from all around the country asking for workshops, so we usually hold, we do private classes, and we also do like team workshops where you can bring your whole team and we'll train you for a whole day, or you can just do one-on-one, whatever works for you. Usually the workshops are held on Sunday or Monday. For more information on workshops, you can contact my barbershop at 860-995-5779 or go to our website mcbarber.com. Our website is slightly under construction right now, but it will be full running within 2 to 4 weeks. And this is your final look. Thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. Thanks for the comments you guys put. I really appreciate a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. My goal is to make MC Barber channel the online education for barbers. I put 17 years into this, learning really from some of the top barbers and educators from around the country. So thanks a lot for the support. Until next time, take care of yourself.